Hi, my name is Jordan Visco. I'm with clinicaid.ca, and today I'm going to show you our new quick claim feature, which is going to allow you to add claims in Clinicaid without having to first add patients. So the first thing I want to say about this is that it doesn't take away anything from the current feature set that we have for adding patients to Clinicaid. It just adds a new feature to it. So you can still create claims just like you've always done, but you can also use this new quick claim feature if you'd like. So here I'm creating an invoice. I'm in an Alberta test account right now, but this will work pretty much the same if you're in Alberta, British Columbia, or Ontario. And so what you normally do is you land on this create invoice screen and your cursor's in this patient box, and normally you look up a patient that already exists. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in mouse, and I'll find Mickey Mouse there, and I'll select them. And just like always, Mickey Mouse's information shows up here because Mickey Mouse already has a patient um, demographic in Clinicaid. Um, and you can see previous invoices I've created for Mickey Mouse and the opportunities, and everything just functions exactly like normal. The other way that you can create claims historically in Clinicaid is to click the little plus button beside the patient box here. So when I click the little plus, I get this little modal pop up, and I can fill out a patient form here and add a new patient into the system. I can also use multiple different patient forms, and I can customize these in my settings. So if I wanted to add an out-of-province patient, I could do that here, but I'm not going to do that right now. So right now I'm just going to show the quick claim creation process. So what you do is you put your cursor in this box, and then you'd look up a patient. So I'm going to add a new patient called maybe Daffy Duck. So actually I'm going to go duck, comma, Daffy and see if Daffy exists. Now they don't exist in this instance. So what I would historically have to do is click the plus button and create Daffy Duck. But what I'm going to do here instead is just hit the tab key on my keyboard or click somewhere else on the screen. And it's going to open up this quick form here. And I'm going to enter in their health number. And I'm going to enter in their birth date if I want. And if I wanted, I can enter in a referral ID. And so it's just that simple. Just by adding in the few fields here, it's actually going to create the patient in Clinicaid. And if I realize that I made a mistake and I want to find a different patient, I can just click the little X here, and that'll put me back to this original, and I can say, oh, actually that was a different duck, that was Donald Duck, and I can select Donald Duck just like normal. So again, all you have to do is type in the name and hit the tab key or click somewhere else on the screen. I'm just going to click right here, and it's going to open up these new fields here so I can quick create the patient as I'm completing the bill. So the other thing to note is that you can search for patients not just by their name, you can search by patients by healthcare number. So I have a healthcare number here, and I'm just going to paste it into this patient box to see if the patient exists. And this patient does exist. So if I select them there, then I just get Mickey Mouse selected, and the bill that I create will be attached to that patient record. However, if I typed in a healthcare number and it didn't exist, so say instead of ending in a 0, this one ended in a 6, that doesn't exist in the system, I can again just hit the tab key and it'll open up the box, but instead of entering the first name and last name, it's now just going to enter the healthcare number, and I can tab down to the first name and the last name, and I can enter the birth date, and away we go, I can complete my bill. Now, if you did make a mistake and you did add a healthcare number and that patient did already exist in the system, I'll just show you here. If I add a code and a diagnostic and save this bill, it's going to throw a error here letting me know that that patient health number already exists in my Clinicaid account, and I can't create a duplicate patient. So what I can do at this time is X out of that, find the patient that actually exists, and associate the bill with the correct patient. And now it'll let me save the bill. So one last thing to note maybe about this is that it does differ slightly by province. So again, this is an Alberta account. It functions the exact same for a British Columbia account. If you're from Ontario, the only major difference is that you have to enter a version code here as well. So there's a health number and version code, but other than that, it's pretty simple. Birth date is required in Ontario as well. It's not a required field in Alberta and British Columbia, so you can just skip the birth date if that would make it faster for you. So we hope this is super useful for you, especially those of you who are seeing patients in hospitals or seeing patients, only once, where you're not going to be collecting things like their phone number and address and so on and so forth. If you did want to create a patient that had extra information, again, you can still always just use this plus button and use the advanced patient create to collect more information on the patient as you create the bill. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, as always, please get a hold of us through the support link in ClinicAid, the Get Help button right here, or you can send us an email to support@clinicaid.ca.